to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Michelle and I make videos to help you get ready for your 11 plus exam. So today we are going to be learning all about square and cube numbers, which people find really difficult, but if you understand the pattern, it's super easy. So grab a notebook and let's get started. We are going to be learning about square and cube numbers, a common topic in the 11 plus that many people find hard, but today I'm going to make it easier for you. So in the description below, there is a PDF to 10 square and cube questions, and it also includes the answers. So try that out to test yourself at the end of this video. Start answering questions, I want to explain what a square number is and a cube number is. So a square number is a number that was multiplied by itself. So for my example, it's 6 times 6, which equals 36. So 36 would be our square number. Now a cube number is a number that was multiplied by itself 2 times. So it would be 3 times 3 times 3, which would be 27. So our cube number would be 27. So let's get straight on to our questions. We're going to be doing 6 square number questions and 6 cube number questions. So let's get straight onto it. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is to show you what this little 2 beside all of these numbers really what it means. Well, it just means to the power of 2. Same as if you have a 5, it would mean to the power of 5. So what this really just means is that you're going to, for the power of 2 would mean to square it. And when you square it, you end up with a square number. So that's what we're learning about today, really. So let's answer this question. So 4 to the power of 2, it could be shown as 4 times by 4, which would equal to 16. Pretty easy question, isn't it? So now let's do this way. 12 to the power of 2, or 12 squared. Either way you can say it, they're both correct. It would be 12 times by 12, which would equal 144. Then let's work that out. Now 9 to squared would equal, we translate it, so this makes it easier for us, and we get 9 times by 9, which would equal 81. So the next questions that we have here, they're not really easy multiplication questions, so we're going to have to do long multiplications to answer them. So if you want to pause the video and try and answer these by yourself and write your answers in the comment section below, you can do just that. So we're going to start doing our long multiplication questions. So 15 to the power of 2 would look like 15 times by 15. So let's do a long multiplication over here. 15 times by 15 would equal, we get 5 times by 5 would be 25. 2 over here. 5 times by 5 times by 1 would be 5. Add the 2 would be 7. Then 0 over here. Then you do 1 times by 5, which would be 5. And then 1 add 1 would be 1. So then if we add that up, you get 225, which would be our answer. 225. So if you got that correct, write in the comment section below with a thumbs up to show that you got that question correct. Now our next question would be 25 squared, which we can write as 25. We can write as 25 times by 25. Now if we do that in our long multiplication, we'll get 5 times by 5 would be 25. Put our 2 here. We'll get 2 times by 5, which would be 10. Add the 12. Add the 2 would be 12. Then we put a 0 here. 2 times by 5 would be 10. 1 here, 4 and 5. Now let's add that together. You get 5, 2, 6. Get 625. Let's write our answer there. If you got that correct, please write that in the comment section below. Now this is one which I find is very easy, but many people get this incorrect in the test because they find it easy, and you can make mistakes. It's 10 squared. And it might sound easy, but I know that there's lots of people that will get this incorrect. And it's just the same as the others, which would be 10 times by 10. And you get 100. Okay, so let's move on straight to our cube number questions. Doing our 6 cube number questions. Now, cube numbers are a little bit more complicated than square numbers because this little 3 also means to the power, but it means to the power of 3. And basically what that means, say we had the number 3. Yeah, we'll do 3 times by 3 times by 3. So it's multiplied by itself twice. So how you would normally do this, and the way my method is to get this. So let's answer our first question. You would get 5 to the power of 3. And how you would write this out is 5 times by 5 times by 5, not 5 times by 3. That's not what you would write, and that's a common mistake. But how I would answer these questions is partitioning it, which we would get our first two numbers, and we times them together, which would be 25 in this case, and then we times it by the next number over here. So if we can do 25 times by 5, you do 5 times by 5 would be 5. I mean the 2 here, and then you get 2 times by 5, which would be 10. Add the 2 would be 12. So we get 125 as our answer. So partitioning the questions really just makes it easier to understand it and not get them incorrect. So let's do the same for 6. We've got 6 to the power of 3, and then we can write that as 6 times by 6 times by 6. So when we partition it, we know that 6 times by 6 would be 36. Then we times that by 6. Let's do our long multiplication at the side over here. Times by 6. Get 6 times by 6, 36. Then we'll put the 3 over here. Then 18 add 3 would be 21. So let's write that down over here. 216. Okay, so if you did not understand, please put it in the comments below, because I would still love to redo another video of square and cube numbers. So let's get on to another easy question. This question is easy because you get 2 to the power of 3. And then this would be 2 times by 2 times by 2. When we partition it, we'll get 2 times by 2 would be 4 times by 2. And this would equal 8. Right answer over there, and that would be 8. Now we're going to get onto some harder questions, some 3 harder questions. So if you want to pause the video and answer these questions by yourself and write down in the comments what you got, that would be great if you wanted to. So let's start doing our hard questions. So you've got 8 to the power of 3, which would equal to 8 times by 8 times by 8. So then we're going to partition it once more. We'll get 64 times by 8, and let's do that outside over here. 64 times by 8. 4 times by 8 would be 32. Then put a 3 over here. 48 add 3 would be 51, and the answer would be 512. 512. So if you got that correct, please put a thumbs up in the comment section below. So let's do our next question. It would be 4 times by 4 times by 4. Now, one reason why I would say this is hard is because I know that when I first did cube and square numbers, I got this definitely mixed up. When I would do 4 times 4, I would always do 8, and then I times that by 4, and I would get 32. So do not make silly mistakes like that. But what you should do is this. 4 times by 4 would be 16, and then times it by 4. Then we do over here. 16 times by 4. 6 times by 4 would be 24. 2 over here, and then you get 6. 64. Let's rub that out. So if you got that correct, please write that in the comment section below. So then you get 64 over here. Now, the reason why I find partitioning the best method is because it saves you the hassle of just trying to work it out in your brain, and then you got like a clear workout of what you're doing. So then you really can't make lots of mistakes. So let's do our last question, which once more involves a 10. So a 10 to the power 3, which we can write 10 times by 10 times by 10. And if we remember what our square was, this is our square. We got 100, and we can just times that by 10. We can times that by 10, and that would equal 1,000, which would be our answer. Thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe. If you haven't watched my other videos, please go check them out now so you can learn some tips and tricks and some English comprehension questions. Bye, and see you in my next video.